just got to the park to shoot this in the park for reasons that I will get to shortly. We got some new camera equipment, which I'll probably overlay over this bit. Pretty cool stuff that I'm using at the moment. So hopefully the audio quality is a lot better than it has been. It's got like a bendy tripod thingy and a microphone up top with a windbreaker, so you can actually record audio outside, which is cool. So this week we registered Connect More as a company, which is kind of cool. And we also set up some social media pages for the business. And that was the bulk of the work, little development work on the side, which isn't too exciting to show. So today we're going to talk about the why, as in why am I trying to start a business. So around Christmas time, I realised that I wasn't happy with my job. It was my third job just over 2 years out of college. In theory, on paper, it was a great job. You know, I did computer science in college, initially because I wanted to make video games, and then halfway through college, I realised I didn't want to make video games, but I realised that I liked finance and economics and stuff, so I got an internship when it came to it at a finance company. That went well enough. They offered me a job after college, so that was the nice natural progression, you know, an internship in college, job offer after college, computer science degree. I kind of moved to a new position after about a year in that company. Still wasn't really happy there. After about a year there, I moved again to a different company. Like I wasn't in junior positions up till then. This is more of a mid-level position. In theory, on paper, it was the job that I would have wanted if you asked me in college. It's like a good job that I would have aspired to work into over the period of a few years, and I got it, but I still wasn't happy. Around about Christmas, I pretty much decided that I had a choice to make where I could essentially go travelling. The other option was to try and set up a business, which I had been kind of floating the idea around in my head of a few different ideas over the couple of years previous. So I just said, fuck it, I'll go and I'll try and set up the business, because if I go travelling, I'm definitely going to have to be employed when I come back. I'm definitely going to have to work for someone because I won't have any savings. Is that true? Maybe. Basically, if the business goes well, I'll never have to work for someone else again. And if it doesn't go well, I'll have to work again, which is the definite case if I go travelling. There's a potential upside of not having to work for someone again if I do the business instead. I suppose it was pretty handy that I made that choice given everything that's happened in the meantime. And no one's travelling now. Yeah, so basically for the first half of this year, I spent an awful lot of time working on Connect More, my business, on the evenings and weekends, and building it up to a point where I'm happy enough to quit my day job and pursue it full time. It's Sunday today. Tomorrow is the start of my last week in work. I handed in my notice a few weeks ago, but we've got like a 1 month notice period. I made that decision, pursued it, and got accepted into an incubator, handed in my notice to my day job. And that's all coming off back in like December, actually, it was, that I decided that I was going to pursue it full time. Back in February, I think, I said I wasn't going to be employed by my 25th birthday, which was on the 23rd of May. Yeah, obviously that wasn't achieved because I'm just quitting my job now, it's August. But the essence of it was, between December and February, I basically decided that I was going to pursue the business stuff full time. So, essentially, yeah. So that brings us to why we're in the park today. And it's partially because doing this makes me really intensely uncomfortable. Walking around, talking to a camera with a microphone. I want to overcome that fear. Similar to some other fears that I've had. So I wrote a kind of an open letter or a blog post back in May, a couple weeks before my birthday, essentially describing my mental state over the last few years and the fact that I've essentially put so much value into what other people thought of me that essentially most of my sense of self-worth was derived from that, which is obviously very unhealthy. And it led me to essentially, you know, in most of my social interactions with people, I was trying to minimize my exposure to negative feelings towards myself while maximizing how positively they thought of me. For my own sense of self-worth, it was really unhealthy cycle to be in. And it just gave me a load of like kind of social anxiety and that sort of thing that I didn't even realize for years that I was carrying, you know, until I did realize it. That's part of the reason why walking around like an idiot with a microphone and a camera in public, it's quite terrifying. But fear isn't really an option now. It's the last week of the day job starting next week. I'm pursuing startup stuff full time, losing the income. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting few months. Hopefully you enjoy this video. It's slightly different from the last ones, I think. But yeah, drop us a like and subscribe for more content. And we'll see you next week.